All right, guys, this is good. Okay, guys, I'm just few minutes, away from, having this conversation with my brother, a few seconds away. So please, do so. Invite somebody out there, and soon we'll be going there. All right. Come on, somebody. Good afternoon, Nana Dreams. It's good to have you right here. It's good to have you right here. All right, guys. So without wasting time, ladies and gentlemen, let me take a moment to welcome my brother, 2nacheki. Brother, welcome.
Hello. I hope you can hear me.
I can hear you loud and clear.
Okay.
How are you, my brother? It's good to see you, by the way.
I'm good. I'm good. I'm still resting. I'm from just a 5-day amazing trip in Ethiopia, where we traveled
Mhm.
almost across a whole country. And Ethiopia is no small country. It's a huge country. Yeah. So
Yeah,
a lot of meeting new friends, a lot of
yeah.
talking, getting to know people. Yeah. So resting from that, but all is good.
I gotta say that I am a big fan of what you're doing, of your work, and the impact that you put on all of us as Africans. And it's a pleasure to have this conversation with you today. This is coming from the bottom of my heart. So I really appreciate you for all you're doing for the continent, for our people, and I think people needed this conversation to happen. So I want to
Uh,
appreciate you for giving me this opportunity to have this talk with you.
No, same here. I've been watching your videos for also like a long time, and yeah, I appreciate also what you're doing.
Mm.
For first of all, for you advocating for Swahili, which is also a big part of why like what we do. Second, for sticking with
Mm.
the people of Ethiopia. When most African creators were afraid to put a name to their there are few Africans who they just
Mm.
if they're fighting for the truth, they just do it. They don't care about what people say about threats, things like that. So I really appreciate that. I know it's not easy, right? And
Yeah.
like it comes with the territory. For veterans like us, like that's like
Mm.
good morning. Like so used to it. But if it's your first time, maybe it might be a bit scary. But
Yeah.
like I would reassure you, it will never stop. So just keep doing
Mm.
what you're doing. Yeah.
I want to appreciate you so much. What people they don't realize is that this, I have to say, is maybe our very first conversation to have, here on YouTube face to face, right?
Yes, yes,
Actually, it's our first conversation to have face to face.
yes, yes.
And I asked my brother, I believe it was yesterday. Was yesterday, right? That's when I asked you, and my brother was open to do right away. He's busy, but he's right here with us, so I want to appreciate that as well.
No,
And without wasting time, I wanna know a little bit about you, about
uh,
who is 2nacheki, especially your name. Like, is 2nacheki your real name, or you have a name? Like, just a little bit about your introduction and how 2nacheki it came to existence.
okay, okay. Also, before we start, also I'd like to tell my Tunachiki followers, please follow Swahili Nation. We're also streaming on Tunachiki, so it is African approved. So if you love African content, if you love African news, if you want to know like a lot about Swahili, if you want to know about Pan-Africanism, follow Swahili Nation, subscribe. Hit the notification bell, and believe me, like you'll not be disappointed. And start watching his old videos. Just don't start watching the recent one. Just go, go through the archives so that you get to know the guy and build up like that. I would recommend everybody who follows Tunacheki, please to do that, and I would really appreciate that. So to answer your question, so my real name is like Michael. I think same as yours, right? Yeah.
Michael,
Yeah, yeah,
get out of
Michael.
here, man.
I'm also from Tanzania, also same as you, right?
Really?
Yeah,
You
yeah,
gotta
yeah.
be kidding me.
I'm,
Come on,
I'm,
man.
I'm
No,
half
you got
Tanzanian, half Kenyan. So, yeah.
no,
And
no, no. Wait. I didn't get you. I think you. No, no. Can you say that again? Your name is Michael, and
yes, like I'm
and
also from
originally you're from
Tanzania.
No, are you saying that in a perspective of one Africa, that
No,
if
no,
you're
no,
Kenyan, you're also Tanzanian? You
no,
mean
no,
like for
no,
real,
no.
you're from Tanzania?
Yeah, yeah. My parents, my mom is from Tanzania, my dad is from Kenya. So yeah, yeah, like we're from Moshi.
Oh,
If you
my
know,
brother. Ah,
like do you know Moshi in near Arusha? Yeah, yeah, yeah. Like
yeah,
that's how.
exactly. Yes, I know. Oh my goodness, that's why we kind of look alike, man. Look at us.
Yeah,
We
yeah,
kind of look
like
like brothers.
same hairstyle, same skin tone. Yeah, so
Just one different. I think you're married, right? I can see the ring
yes,
on your
yes,
finger.
yes, yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
you gotta pray hard for me too as well.
Coming soon, 2020 something. So 2nacheki is the channel name, right? I'll explain what
Mhm.
2nacheki means, but I go by the name of Makimushi, like it's a nickname I've always gone by, right? Because also my like one of my names is
Mm,
Mushi. You know, Mushi is a very common Tanzanian name,
mm.
right? Yeah, yeah, yeah. So like
Yes,
online,
exactly. Yeah.
like online, I always go by Makimushi. So 2nacheki, I started it as a vision of, you know, like 2nacheki comes from English and Swahili. It's a Swahili Sheng slang, right? So 2nacheki means
Exactly. Yeah.
cheki
Yeah.
means watching, right? So tuna means we are,
Mm,
right? You know, yeah. So I just combine the
exactly.
words.
Yeah.
We are watching, yeah, because I was sick and tired of Western media news organizations, Western
Mm,
platforms, like telling us. So it's
mm.
just to tell them Africans are also watching, right? And we are capable of making our own
Yes.
content, we're
Yeah.
capable of telling our own stories. Yeah, so that's how it started. And
Mm,
like I used to do like a lot of research, like my previous work. I used to be in communications, so I used to do like a lot of research. So every time there's a project in any African countries, every time I'm
mm.
just do research, it's just negative, like negative media coverage,
Yeah.
like negative
Mm,
articles, negative stereotypes, racism. So
mm.
I quit my job and I said I challenged myself. You like, you know what, I'll change this perspective one video at a time. So that's when I started
Yeah.
doing top 10 videos, right, to show, like from a
Yeah.
perspective, how Africa is from an African. You know, like
Mm,
to show other Africans who are watching. This is the Africa that we want to talk about, not the ones that is curtailed to uplift
yeah.
other people. You know, because
Mm,
people think this mainstream media, like they think they portray Africa
yeah.
like this because it's
Exactly.
like it's fun, or it's like they've got nothing else to do. No, 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 no. It's by design. It's by plan, right?
Yeah.
Like they
Mm,
they
mm.
they have a strict programming, right? They are doing this
Yeah.
for a purpose, for a reason.
Mm,
Every negative
mm,
story, every negative article, every false news about Africa, every
mm.
propaganda about Africa, it's designed and from the top down, right? It's not
Yeah.
like it's not just some random journalist doing this. No, 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 no. It's all organized,
Mm,
well organized. Yeah, and seeing this has made me to fight back the only
mm.
way I can, by like creating our own content. So yeah, that's why 2nacheki exists, and
Yeah.
that's how like that's what it means.
It must not been easy to start that when you start that. Do you remember exactly the year you started?
Yeah. I started in 2016, and there were
Yeah.
very few African YouTubers, like extremely, and
Exactly.
uh, uh, and the like the only African YouTubers that were there were entertainers, comedians, musicians, you know. But there were very few
Mm,
Pan-Africanists who were actually talking about Africa, and there were very few channels covering news other than the
yeah.
like you know, your local Tanzanian news station, right?
Yeah.
EATV. You remember EATV, right?
Yes. Yes.
Like channels
Exactly.
like that. Those were the only people on YouTube. If it's an African channel on YouTube, it's a news station or it's a news program, right?
Yeah.
Like you know,
Mm.
something boosted by money. So we like, it was very lonely, but I'm glad today it's a different story, because today we are so many.
Mm. Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. Exactly. So when you started, I want to know this. When you started, do you get any resistance, maybe from within Africa and outside as well? Like, did you get a lot of that? And how
Yeah,
did you
like
how did you deal with it?
like when I started, I got so much positive like attention, comments from Africans, right? And like from people who are not Africans, of course, the basic racist, like racist, but those ones are just like common,
Yeah.
like it comes with it. But I got and that's the only thing that encouraged me to keep on going. Because when I started, people always like these days I think it's a bit easier to start YouTube because like you've got your smartphone, better internet connection. But then it was a bit harder, right? And like creating a video was like a bit hard work. So like when I started, the only thing that kept me going were the comments and the likes and people saying, "Oh man, this I love this video from Africa." Because like I started really hard. The first video I made, like I think the first year, it got only like I think like if I'm not wrong, between maybe like 2,000 or 5,000 views, right? Yeah. So and for me, I thought, hey, man, this YouTube thing, you
That's
make a video, you things start growing, you start getting millions of views. But no. And the only thing that kept me making videos is I wanted to read the comments of what people would say, right? So I think the first video I did was the top 10 strongest African militaries, right? And that one people were like, "Hey, my country is stronger, my country is stronger," right? So that was how the comments were. Then the second one is the top 10, I think, highest paid African models, right? Yeah. Then then now people are like, she's from this country, she's like that, right? Then based on the comments, that's when I started creating other videos. So based on that argument, I made another video. Like I think top 10 African countries with the most beautiful women, and that one now was like just fire. People, in the comments saying, my country, people disowning me. Yeah. So that's how the people are the only ones who kept me going, because those videos were really not doing well, right? They were just and I cannot say, because YouTube is hard, I cannot say they were doing bad, right? Because for some people, like maybe 5,000 views, 7,000 views is a lot, right? Yeah, but like it didn't discourage me, because I had a big vision, like, oh man, I'm gonna be making millions of views, right? So the commenters, people are just encouraging me, the discussions and they're entertaining. Then one day, all of a sudden, the first video I ever made, I think, just got 2 million at once, right? Like it just went viral.
Yeah.
Like out of nowhere, right? Yeah. So then that encouraged me, encouraged me. So then now I hit road running and like this always happens, right? And I would also encourage upcoming YouTubers, right, who make videos. You never know when your video will go viral, why it will go viral, or how it will go viral, right? So even if you make a video and it gets 1,000 views or 300 views, never delete it, never go like, oh man, that's like it was a waste of time, because you never know, right? Because now after that, the previous videos that I started making, right? The first video I think right now has 10 million views, right? The first video that took 1 year to reach 7,000, right? Right now it has 10 million views. So now that's something I can encourage like upcoming YouTubers. Never think just because you posted your video and it didn't go viral or people are not talking about it, it never it will never mean it will never do that. Yeah. So it might be just a good opportunity for it to go viral. Some popular website might feature it. You never know. And for now, since today, I've never known why that video went viral. We'll account it to the YouTube gods, I guess, right?
Yeah. It's very clear that you have such a huge platform in Africa, inside Africa and outside Africa, and we can only see how much influence you do have. For example, talking about numbers, I want to know, what is your message you want to pass across to Westerners and also to Africans inside? What is that message you want people to get from 2nacheki.
Okay, so like to Westerners, like my message is usually simple, right? Just live just like that, right? We are okay. We don't need your help. We don't need your aid. We don't need your donations. We do not need your pity, sorrow. Just like that. Like I think, like Africans, we are good, right? We are okay. Yeah. So that's my message to the Westerners, and my message to Africans. And when I only say Africans, I mean Africans here, Africans in the diaspora, right? Africans with like people with African ancestry, right? You know, the Caribbeans, right? Yeah. So that's like what I usually mean when I say Africans, just not Africans in the continent. My message for us, it's that like it's time for us to tell our own story, right? Like for me, I always look at this planet that we live in like in such a long perspective, right? So like recently, only like maybe the last 500 years is when Africans have been made into slaves, colonized, brutalized, raped, stolen from, right? This thing just happened in the last 500 years, right? But the historians and people in power don't want Africans to know before this recent 500 years what happened, right? Like they don't people to know like we ruled all significant kingdoms, all like origin of mankind, right? Origin of civilization came from Africa, right? So think about it. Like I always give out this perspective of time, right? So you know us, me and you, right? We time-wise, we are closer to Jesus Christ, right? The time Jesus Christ lived, than Jesus Christ was closer to the Egyptians.
Wow.
Yeah, like that perspective, right? Right? Yeah. So as we are here, Jesus is here, the Egyptians are here, right? So all that history of us, like you know, like ruling, like doing amazing things, creating amazing things, you know, making history, you know, making mankind as it is, right? All that people always want to wash it away and make it like, oh, Africans are like have always struggled, Africans have always had a hard time, Africans have always been used. No. It's like it's just like even time-wise, you know, like how historians count time. It's not even an era. It's not even an epoch, right? It's like it's such a little significant time, right? That can like and that most Africans are now waking up from. They're like, oh man, we really need to get back to our, you know,
roots.
like our awesomeness, our, you know, us taking control of this planet, right? Yeah, because the Western world, capitalism, imperialism is destroying this planet, right? Yeah, like if you think about it, all the bad things, like things like climate change, all the like pandemics, most of these things have happened when these like Europeans and the Western powers like have had control of the world. Yeah? But previously, when all Africans, like when Africans were in control, we were like in like how can I say in tune with nature, right? We like we lived with the earth. We didn't trip from it, right? So yeah, so we need to save our planet. Also, we need to get back to our position of leadership and show these Western countries how to live on this planet, right? Yeah, like with harmony and with grace. You know, you don't need to burn, cut everything, and destroy everything just to make a living. Yeah, as the Western, like you know, as Western culture does. Yeah, you know, it's based on, like their culture is based on exploitation, right? And it's not sustainable. So yeah, that's what. So my message to Africans is think about it. Think about being an African from this perspective. Don't just think slavery, colonization, new colonization. No. Like those are insignificant time-wise, right? Think about all the great people that made you. Like think about all your your great lineage. Think about your great DNA. Yeah. So that's my message to Africans.
You know, if I think I love the point that you made, that a lot of us, I think we have this issue. We always talk here about education system. We have this issue because of our education and what we learn in school, because a lot of stories we hear from school as we're learning is the story after colonialism, especially during colonialism, and after that what happened. So we grew up knowing that we are kind of people that, you know, were just weak, and then all these colonialists, they came, they wanted to take advantage of us, but they came with different kind of face and be like, hey, we want to help you. And then I think you can see that even the society, how we act today when we see white men on the street, right? Or how we think about Western world, right? It's a first world country. Oh, it's developed countries. And oh, we need support. We need this. And sadly, even some of our leaders, they don't pay attention to the history or the roots of African before colonialization, because we had our stories before that, right? And so if I get your point clear, is that it's our responsibilities as Africans to go back to our roots and understand that colonialism is not the whole part of the story. It's just a small part that somebody took advantage of us, but we'll make a big mistake if we continue to live on that. But we need to go back on our roots to learn, to understand, to have knowledge, right? To decolonize our mind about everything that has happened right now, but to go back, to understand our roots and to live accordingly to who we used to be, because we were somebody before we became slaves, right? And that's what you, man. That's
and also know it's our job, me and you and other creators, right? To fight the misinformation that the West keeps on pouring on to Africans to stop Africans from going back, right? Like in high school, learning, I don't know, it's David Livingstone who discovered this in Africa. You know, like
that's ridiculous, yeah.
Like stupid things like that, right? Like that kind of like call it brainwashing. I don't even call it education, right? Yeah, that kind of brainwashing. So it's us now, the creators, the people who speak on these matters, to stop these things from this misinformation from happening. Like another like, let me give you like a recent thing that people always say, I don't know, it's like it's only Ethiopian that had written texts, or something like an African country that had the written text. No, that's false. We recently did the top 10 African written texts, and there were more than 10, right? They were like, there were more than 10. And like we were trying to squeeze most of them in, but never listen. Like there's this famous speech by this lady, Maria Makeba, right?
Maria Makeba.
She said, don't expect the person who came and colonized you to tell you the truth about yourself, right? So just everything you watch from the West, everything you read from the West, right? Like to be safe, take it as a lie, then do your research. If it's true, take it, right? But don't do the opposite way. Don't take it as the truth, then do your research, then be like, oh man, they lied to us. No. It's easier because there are more lies than there are truths, right? So just like when you hear anything coming from the West, right? Just assume it's a lie. Then no, it's up to you to be like, okay, did this really happen?
To find the truth.
Like it will be easier on you and your conscious. But if you take it the other way around, you'll be very sad and that's stressed.
It's definitely. It's obvious because nobody can tell our stories than ourselves. Like only Africans can tell their own stories, because everybody knows how the world is viewing Africa, and it's our responsibility to actually change that. I live outside for 9 years, and what I realized is this, that as I was living there, parents, they're actually teaching their kids, like literally parents are telling their kids that, hey, stay away from those people, from those black people, they're dangerous. So, I had opportunities to go to actually teach some kids, African culture. I even had an opportunity to teach Kenyan culture, because Kenyan and Tanzania, we kind of we share our culture. So I had classes like that, for Kenyan and Tanzanian and East African, Africa in general. And when I went there, some kids, they would just run away from you, or they'll start crying. And then when you ask them why, they say, oh, we are scared of you. Why are you scared of me? No, my mom told me to stay away from you. And when you go to their mom, like when you meet them, they have never been to Africa. They don't know a thing about Africa, but they just watch a movie from Hollywood that is saying this about Africa. They have that knowing that like these people are very aggressive. These people are drug dealers. These people are killing each other. These people, they don't have toilet. They don't have rice. Stay away from them. So you are in the society. People are growing, knowing all these negative things about Africa. And I think this is where our job plays a big role, because we are fighting against the education system, right? And most of countries here in Africa, we're still using the British, old system, you know what I'm saying? And until today, we have people still going through that. And we, and this is the power of internet, right? We are using the same thing that they invented. We're using it against, because our job is to remind people and to tell people that, okay, you need to close this file that you think that Africa is just small, like you see the world map. Actually, it's actually bigger than the way it shows in the world map, right? But a lot of people don't know that. Africa has to be bigger than, whatever this, Russia and Europe and all of this combined. It needs to be that bigger, but it's this small. And people, they don't know about that, right? Other people, they think Africa is just one country and all the stuff. So we play a big role to remind people of Africa. And I want to appreciate you for doing that, for reminding people who they are before the colonialism. But another question on that I want to ask you, as you have been working for these 6 years plus, right? I think you, what kind of issues or what kind of challenges you think Africa, we are struggling with? Like, I genuinely just want to hear, your insight on that. As you've been researching, because you were doing researching before you began with YouTube. And I'm pretty sure that you saw stuff and you're like, this and this and this has to change, this and this and this, we need to improve from that. If you don't mind to mention them.
Okay, so for me, I think the greatest challenge right now, like I'll mention them by importance, right? Is leadership and governance, right? That's like our biggest problem when it comes to Africa, and all the problems that that we are facing is mostly caused by our leadership and governance, right? First of all, like I start with like leadership, right? So most people who lead Africa are people who are in it for themselves, right? We have very few visionaries, like the founding fathers, like I think with Kaunda's death, all of them are dead right now, right? Like all the founding fathers are dead, and that was the end of Africa, like an African leader wanting to be a leader, because they had no other choice than to try to help their people, right? Leadership these days is a business. I'm going to campaign this amounts of millions of dollars, but in exchange, I'll get this amounts of millions of dollars, right? Like it's just a business proposal. So like, and with that, if you have a leader whose mental mind is wired to be a capitalist, he can be bought easily, right? He's not a leader. He's just a highest bid. Somebody like that, France can go like, hey, let us keep exploiting you. Your bank account will be okay when you retire. Hey, like, come to Paris. Like, we'll give you like a big house in Paris, right? Like where your bank accounts are, like in Swiss. So most African leaders, majority, and when I mean leaders, I don't mean just presidents and prime ministers. Leadership goes down the chain, right? You know, just one country has like 30 ministers, right? So I mean African leaders, I mean like the leader, the one on top, and trickling down, right? Like all those people are corrupted with capitalism, right? They're only in it like nobody, like the few leaders who became leaders because of necessity, right? Like a good example is Mandela. Mandela really didn't want to become a leader. Like he just found himself like that. Kagame, right? Kagame really didn't want to become a leader. He had to fight to, because they were killing his people. Right? He had to fight. Like even Abiy Ahmed really didn't want to become a leader, right? He was like, they just put him there because he was the only person who the rest knew would hold the country together, right? Because if they would have just put somebody else, Ethiopia would right now be in really big trouble, right? So you know him. People who don't want leadership usually end up being the best leaders, right? But somebody who's
that's a good one.
Hey, vote for me, vote for me. You know, in Kiswahili, they usually say kizuri kijuza, right?
Yeah, kibaya chajitembeza.
Yeah, like exactly. So if you're a good leader, you don't have to go and pay people to believe that you're a good leader. You don't have to make speeches for people to believe you're a good leader, right? So the whole concept of leadership has been distorted by imperialism and African leadership was totally different. So we were in the in Ethiopia, in the Oromia region. So they were telling us how before colonization, how they used to govern themselves, right? So they had this it's called chama cha wazee, just a group of elders, right? Like 12. Then in the middle was a chief, right? Yeah. So just being a chief didn't make you the head or what. Like anybody in the committee can outweigh the chief if they've got a valid reason, right? So like the whole concept of Africa having one leader or one president is so westernized, right? Like African leadership was shared, right? Like it was social and not so when I talk like this, all the socialists always come to me like, yeah, socialism works for Africa. No, it wasn't like that also, right? Like African African leadership before colonization, right? It wasn't this one democratic. It wasn't like communist. It wasn't anarchist. It was African. Like we had our own way of leadership. We were not following these new concepts of leadership, right? This was that now they're forcing on our people, and it's the main reason for all the wars, all the conflicts, right? And also when it comes to leadership, the whole concept of and this is where that's extremely dangerous when it comes to African leaders. The whole concept that one person can save a country, can save millions of people. The whole concept of one great leader can solve all your problems is such a futile, it's such a futile, and also when I say a Western concept, right? Because like I always think about like this: if one person can save your country or save it from all its ills and ails and make it successful, it also means one other person can also destroy it and take it to the ground, right? So
it's true.
So they're both pointless, right? So for me, what I'd love when it comes to African leadership, right, is like an unbreakable system, right? Meaning even if you have somebody who's corrupt on the top, the system is so hard, and the system is so has so many checks and balances that they can't destroy what has been built throughout the years. Because think about it, this is why democracy has never worked in Africa, right? No African country has benefited from democracy, right? Because 5 years you vote for this good group, they do their best. Another year you vote for this bad group, they destroy everything that
the previous regime actually built.
Then another regime destroys even the little good that the bad regime did, right? So over time things are getting worse. If you look at politics in your country, politics in my country, things are deteriorating. Things are getting worse and worse and worse and worse and worse and worse. And because the main reason is these concepts that they forced upon us are non-Africans, right? They should have let us come up, figured our own way of ruling, our own way of governance, right?
Let me pose another question on that. I think you raised very important point, about the authority that we put on our leaders, right? One leader is like God of the nation. Same thing here, where I am right now. The same thing in so many African countries. That one person can actually literally destroy the entire country. If that one person is corrupted, if that person his or her decision depends I mean, in one decision, it can actually change everything in the entire country, because we are, it's kind of like you are, you are everything, right? So there's no checks and balance, because this one person guides everything, is watching over anything. So, and you mentioned at the same time the solution to have a strong system that can actually hold the country, right? To have a visionary readers who they're thinking about 100 years from now, like 200 years from now. How can we build our continent and our countries that can last longer for our generation and generations to come? My question is, that exactly, I agree with you, and everybody, I believe, agrees with you. How are we going to build that system right now?
So for me, I've got a very detailed plan on how a system like that would work, and how a system like that will end up also enabling Africa to unite, right? Yeah, because the whole concept of we want a united states of Africa, we want a united Africa, is pointless if you're going to put one megalomaniac to rule it all, because you know what's to stop them from doing what they want, right? So for me, this is how I think a system would work for like a united Africa, right? So the East African community is growing right now, right? It's just it wants to I think it's already approved the DRC, right? To be part of the East African community. It also wants to approve Ethiopia, right? So think about how population-wise, how big the East African community is, right? That's technically half of Africa's population, right? Yeah. So we have the East African community, or it can be called the Eastern African community now that it's expanding, right? Then we have SADC, right? Yeah. So we have one region, SADC, right? Then we have ECOWAS, right?
That's right.
Yeah, ECOWAS. Then we have the North Africans, right? They can be one block, right? So the vision for Africa uniting is, first, these regions must individually unite by themselves. They have one economy, one currency. They try to but when I mean one currency, one economy, it doesn't mean that the borders are like the Nigerians lose their identity as Nigerians, or Ghanaians lose Ghanaian. No. Like the concept of Ghana, the concept of Nigeria will still exist, right? But when it comes to economically, business-wise, border-wise, it's just like technically one region, right? Yeah. So for a while, let's say a decade or two, these regions are autonomous, but they're closely working together, right? Yeah. Then eventually they form like a united version of these regions, right? So instead of being 4 or 5 regions, right? Now it will be one. And the reason I'm saying 4 or 5, because I also want the Caribbean and the Diaspora to also have their own region, right? Jamaica's, Dominica, like even if they're not on the continent, the economy, they link the economy with Africa rather than linking the economy with the Americas, Central America, right? Yeah, like it's their own region, like they're their own individual people. They work together, but their economies and their trade routes, everything links to Africa. So when it eventually combines, Africa will be a united continent together with the Oceania, the diasporas, right? It will be its own region. So when it comes to the leadership, like there'll not be one president of Africa. It will just be like, as I said, that Oromias did. All those all those regions will have representatives, right? Yeah, and they'd sit in like a round table, right? So so then they'll use the veto power. So if there's any decisions that has to be made when it concerning Africa, it has to be voted on. So if a majority wins, that's a region. But the whole concept of one person controlling the whole of Africa, or one person making the decisions for the whole of Africa, must be thrown out of the window. The whole concept of a president of Africa must be thrown out of the window. This, according to me, it's the only safe way to safeguard Africa for the future generations, right? because like those groups will slowly keep building and slowly keep like becoming one. Then in like a few centuries, it will be indistinguishable. It will just be one region, right? Yeah, and I'm saying that because of the population. Currently, like I've noticed a very huge trend. There's so many Africans like me, like Equatorial Guinea and Nigeria. I'm from Algerian and Ethiopian. I'm meeting so many people who come from 2 African countries, some even 3, some even 4, right? Yeah.
Exactly.
So think about it. That's happening with all the divisions, all the 54 divisions, right? So imagine if they're just like 4, right? How much intermingling there'll be, right? Even like after a few centuries, you'll not know where you come from except Africa. You'll be like, hey, Nigerian, Ghanaian, Kenyan. Let's just call it African, right? Yeah. So for me, that's a realistic vision of how Africa is to come together, right? There are other versions over there that will have one very charismatic leader. He'll go fight all the Americas, all the Europes, and gain us independence. Like for me, I think in the world we are living in, that's very idealistic and unrealistic. For me, I believe that for Africa to be united, like it's going to be hard, it's going to be technical, it's going to be like a lot of drafting of papers, proposal. It's going to be so much bureaucracy. It won't be like how this Americans say, it won't be sexy. There won't be one person on a hill, like we did it. Like it will be so. It will be behind so many books and laws and bylaws, like nobody will even recognize it. It will just be like, hey, it happened, and it happened in such a boring way, because a good system is a boring system, right? Something that works is boring, right? But something that's dramatic and it's exciting. Yeah. So for me, I think the latter one will work. The boring, systematic, bureaucratic way would work over United Africa. Yeah. So that's to answer your question on on
the leadership.
Like how to a practical way of how Africa can solve its leadership problems, right?
Yes. And the second point, you say governance, or is inside that?
Yeah. So governance, people always confuse leadership with governance. It's totally different. You can have a good leader, right? Who's a terrible governor, right? Yeah. Like you can have you can have a bad leader, a terrible leader, right? Who kills all his enemies, but he's such a good governor. People get like food, people get oil, but he is ruthless. If somebody tries to challenge his authority, he crushes them, right? That means he's a bad leader, but he might be a good governor. So when I talk about governance, it's how African people would live a fruitful, successful life, right? Where like everybody can have basic needs, right? Like food, shelter, water, internet connectivity, like education, right? Like things like that. That shouldn't even be a question, right? That should be like you're right. So now this is like one thing I'm extremely against. Like this concept, like even for me, I think something worse than colonization, right? Is something called capitalism, right? Yeah. So capitalism is this system where for you to be successful, right? For you to make it in this life, you must destroy somebody else, right? It's a concept where for America to be rich, Africa must be poor, right?
To exploit somebody.
Yeah. Like for you to get, you must take, right? Yeah. So for me, like that, first of all, is an African, right? Technically, like no African who's not been not even even Africans who live in the US really don't like they're the most gracious people ever. Like Africans who live in the West, like they're the ones who are like they're willing to help somebody, right? Yeah, like you're living in a country that's hostile to you, but you're still the one who's hey, if you see somebody in problems, right? Like in Europe, people are always they always say they're cold. They don't care about anyone, not even an African, even their fellow people, right? You know, they're so one like focus, right? Hey, it's about me, it's about my life, right? Yeah, but Africans who live there can't adapt that kind of life, right? Like Africans, like when there's like a cookout or when there's a celebration, they always invite the neighborhood, right? Like even in
it's our blood.
Yeah, like it's hard. It's hard to teach ourselves to be selfish and to hate. Like it's so hard to teach an African how to hate, steal from someone, how to exploit somebody else, right? Yeah. So for me, it's like this concept of capitalism, where for Africa to be prosperous in the future, for Africa to be successful, to be rich, we must destroy Europe. We must destroy the United States, right? We must beat them economically. No.
We don't believe in that. We don't. You'll find nobody talking about that. You will always rely and depend on the resources, on the energy because the matter of fact, we have everything here in Africa, right? We have everything that we need, and that's why right now we're having this conversation to try to decolonize our mind and to understand, you know, what is Africa and where we are coming from, because we can actually get ourselves from where we are to another level. We, as you said at the beginning, that we don't need your aids. You don't feel pity on us and feel like, oh, we want to help you. We have everything that we need, but we're lacking something. We're lacking something, a leadership, a visionary leaders, like the ones we have in the past, who can dream, think about Africa in 20, 50, and 100 years ago. And on that note, I think, 2nacheki, Michael, my brother, that we have a real chance here to have a united Africa. And this is how I see it. When people decide, because people matters, right? When people decide that I want to be united, I want to be one, nothing can stop them from being one. If we and that's the point that I see us as YouTubers, we are playing that a role, because you know we are working with different people. We have different audience from all over the continent, right? So when we preach this message of unity, when we preach this message of love, what we do is we bring people together from everywhere to realize that, you know what, the barriers, the language, the color, the whatever that we have, don't pay attention to that. We are actually one people, right? Before colonialism, we didn't have these borders. So people that are becoming aware, and a lot of people actually, they believe in that, but they just didn't have a time to raise their voice or a chance or an opportunity. But now we have this an amazing opportunity, and we're bringing everybody together. I'm telling you, if people decide, do you think at the end of the day, leaders, they're going to be like, oh, no, we don't want. And you look at the continent, you see everybody's united. You see, you know, West and East, these guys are interacting. They're having different summits, you know, even without their leadership, right? You see South and North, they already engage with one another. That's the opportunity to actually go ahead to be like, okay, the youth have spoken. What should we do? We need to write this, you know, whatever papers, like as soon as possible, you know.
Like you mentioned, how like the people when people decide, right? Like we have no choice but to listen and unite Africa, because that's what people want, right? Like there's a like one of my favorite sayings, like of all times, right? Like it goes like, the voice of the people is the voice of God, right? You know. You know, like it doesn't work the other way around. It doesn't work like God then people. It's people then God. You know what people want is what is like the most important. So we said, if people want to unite Africa, if the call is loudest now, it's the time to do it now, right? No, people will be like, and technically it's been happening with the Africa Continental Free Trade, right? You know, people have been like, hey, we need to get rid of these passports that Africans have. We need we need free borders. We need free trade? Why should we trade with Europe? Why can't we trade with ourselves? All that came from people, right? No politician just sat down and is like, hey, I'm going to spend all these amounts of money and time to draft up this Africa Continental Free Trade. No. It's people who made it happen. So yeah, you're definitely right.
I really appreciate for that, guys. I want to give you as well an opportunity to leave your questions. I'm going to be going ahead and read your questions that you do have, and we're going to hear what 2nacheki has to say, and you can ask whatever question you have, about this discussion, and to anyone. 2nacheki.
Yep.
I want to get at least one question from you as well.
Yeah. So for me, tell me why Swahili Nation? Why did you choose your name?
Well, so Swahili Nation, it was, by the way, it was in the making for right now. 2022 is 10 years in total, because I started from 2013, but I didn't have that name Swahili Nation. It was just me. Because that was the time that I went to Korea, right? So it was just me, doing my work to introduce Africa in South Korea, right, in the schools and everything, and like that. But it was like 2019 December, Christmas Day, 25th of December. That's when I actually opened Swahili Nation and be like, I'm gonna call this Swahili Nation. This is the reason why. I wanted to have something that can speak about Africa, but also something that can unite Africa inside the continent and Africa outside the continent. So for me, I'm coming from the Swahili region. And when I'm talking about Swahili region is, the eastern side of Africa, right? A lot of countries are speaking Swahili. And so I was, the first name came, it was like, Young Motivator Swahili Channel or something like that, because I used to have another thing called Young Motivators, but it was kind of like long name, and it was like another name. It was like like channel ya Kiswahili something, but it was very long name, and I didn't like it. So I was like, what if the name it will be just Swahili Nation? And what I mean is, this is the new nation. It's Swahili Nation. Nation are people from all over Africa and people outside of Africa. Because whether you like it or not, whether you're from the West, East, or side, you have been impacted by the culture from African countries. Like me in the East, I've been impacted with the culture of Western, Southern and Northern. That's why in Swahili you have a lot of Arabic words. And the same thing when you go to Northern as well. There's a lot of names in Swahili you'll find in some languages in the Northern and Southern Africa as well, Zulu language, right? So this Swahili, a lot of people later on, they felt like, oh, it's just representing people from this region, but it represents people of Africa, Swahili people. Swahili people is basically, Swahili means like people from the coast, people who are living from the coast. So, and when you look at Africa, the entire continent of Africa, you can see that we are at the middle of ocean, and then we are surrounded by water everywhere. That's how Swahili Nation came to exist. And then later on, it got a little bit extension to One Africa, because I was still listening all these concerns of people from the West, and they're like, that's Swahili thing. I don't wanna cut Swahili thing. This is very Eastern thing. No. I don't want to come there. That's when last year, March 1st, One Africa was born, with the aim of uniting everybody everywhere. That okay, it's not just when you hear Swahili Nation, don't just think about the East, but you have to know that it's One Africa, and you guys are included, and you guys are included, and yeah, that's how it came to exist up to this moment.
And when you talk about Swahili is such an important aspect in the uniting of Africa, because when you unite, we must have one language, right? And Swahili is the best candidate because it's like a non-tribal language. It's a non-partisan language, and it's a very easy to learn language. So when Africa unites, when we are looking for a language, because of course we can't be speaking this colonial language, right? To celebrate our freedom, right? So no English, no French, no Portuguese, right? So Swahili is a pure language that can easily be adapted in all other African countries. And we're going to start this campaign that we are going to want Swahili to be an official United Nations language, right? because
Exactly.
the official United Nations languages are 5, and none of them are like African. So
Yeah.
we want Swahili to be one. So every
Be one of them. Exactly.
document, every translation can be in Swahili. That's how you
Swahili as
create
well.
language,
Yeah.
to unite Africa.
That's why we always say Swahili nation, Swahili to the world. We got the first question here. I'm with you, my brother, in that fight. We have a question from the Minister of Education here in One Africa, Nati. He says, "How can Pan-African YouTubers like you join hands and audience to make more practical impact in Africa?" I'm writing, so go point by point, please. All right, I'll give this to you first, 2nacheki.
This is a very important question, because even we were with Imani in Ethiopia, right? Like you know, Imani is I think the greatest advocate for Swahili in Africa,
Yes.
right? So he asked me the same question. He was like, man, like you guys are doing so great, but everywhere, like you've got Odemai in Ghana, you've got like somebody in South Africa, you got somebody in Ethiopia, like how would we come together and speak with one voice, right? So like Kimi was talking about, let's say one of us is banned for YouTube for advocating for something, right? Like we need to have a voice where we can say, hey, like all these big YouTubers would all not make any videos until our African brother is unfairly banned, right? So something like that. So he was talking about how we can create like a kind of group or a kind of like forum where all these Pan-African YouTubers, creators, and when I mean creators, I mean not just from YouTube, from TikTok, right? There's so many really upcoming Pan-Africanists coming up on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, right? So like when I mean creators, all these creators that we can come together and be speaking with one voice, like have a conference. Like we can call it African Con or something, right? So I'm really thinking hard on how to make that happen, and I think by June I will have come up with a solution, because right now there's something in the works. So for me, that's a very good like a very good question that needs solving, and we are currently solving.
Exactly. I mean, I definitely agree with that, and I think this is the beginning, to that, having this conversation on the screen and behind, the screen as well, to bring like together, because one of the very important thing I think is to understand, each other's vision and what we stand for. We have to check. We know what 2nacheki is standing for. Africa is watching. We have Wademaya in the West. We know what he's standing for, changing the narratives and all these stories, and has been doing incredible job. We have Swahili Nation here in One Africa. We know what's the message about. We have South Africa, I think, make Africa great again. I think that's one of the channels I've seen.
Definitely. And also
yes, exactly. I think, and that's why I'm doing this right now, because I see there's a need for us to collaborate and cooperate, that people who are watching right now, 2nacheki family, to know that, man, there's Swahili Nation family, and you guys are part of that. And Swahili Nation family who are watching here know that there's 2nacheki, and we're all fighting the same fight, and we are all one. Yes, we have different platform. We need to have this different platform, but we should always remember that we are one. So one task that we have for 2nacheki and I and other creators is to always come together. We preach about unity. We have to be united ourselves, me and you and other guys out there. We like that has to be our lives. It should be words in action. Here in Swahili Nation, we call this is the year of action, right? And we have to be brutally honest with each other. So we need to show that action, because there's a lot of people behind us who are watching and following and learning. So if we are united, what's going to happen is Swahili Nation family, One Africa family, 2nacheki family, they'll be united as well. Right? It's like what we're doing right now. The same thing to the West.
Like YouTube tells us that, when you in your analytics, when it tells you like Swahili Nation people, viewers also watched your video, right?
Exactly. I see that all the time. I see that all the time. Yeah. So I think, I think that's definitely. And when you're talking that, I was thinking, I was like, yes, we should have some sort of association, like African YouTube Association or something that will at least meet, if it is in 6 months or one, just have a little bit submit, sit down and talk, discuss that. Hey, where are we heading right now? What kind of challenges we're facing right now? How can we address it? Okay, you're doing in that way, you're doing in that way. I think we should have some sort of like things that we are attacking them in different styles. The way I do, the way you do, the way that person is doing, and like, okay, we acknowledge the problem. This is the issue. Then how can we face this issue? Okay, you what am I? You're doing that way. Keep doing your way. 2nacheki here, Swahili Nation that, and then we're facing the same jam that we're fighting.
Definitely.
And I think if we join our hands like that, then we are preaching the message of unity, and we are actually uniting our people, our followers together to realizing that, hey, this is what, yes, man, we play a big role.
Definitely, definitely. Like I'd like my first goal for July is to collect a group that will amount to 10 million like followers, people who like the creators who, when combined, would form 10 million followers, right? And then by the end of the year, people who, when combined, would have 100 million followers a year, right? So us with the 1 million, or the Maya with this 1 million, the others like that. I'd like to build that community. So when we say we have one voice, it can be like more than 1 billion, 1 billion viewers' voice, right? So when maybe CNN comes up with a crazy article about Africa, instead of me making a video complaining about it, all of us can make a video and scare the hell out of them. They're like, oh man, people are really watching. They're really watching us. So so that's what I'd like to happen for when like when we talk about one Africa YouTuber group. So,
in that, I think I'll have this conversation with you also, I mean, behind the scene. But I think in this also we have one challenge, Nati, that another challenge that we have, not every YouTuber in Africa is willing to talk about issues that we are talking about. Some people, they don't want to be involved with this at all because they think it's politics, and I don't want to get there. I don't seem like I support this group or these people. So there are, and I do understand, because it's their platform and they hustle so hard to create them, and so they don't want to involve in that. Some of them, they base on entertainment. Some of them, they base on their personal message, on the financial and all this stuff. They don't want to dig deep into the concept of unity, the concept of fighting for peace in Africa, because it's very sensitive issue. So, but I think still it's not an issue, because we still have people who are willing to do that, and I think I'll have this conversation with you behind the scene. I think it's the time. It's the time to have that association, so that we can fight together.
And also to add on that, we should also make it clear that just because you're in this association, it doesn't mean you're forced to do things you're not. Like you can be just an entertainment YouTuber who's in this association. When it comes to your problem, we listen to you, right? You're like, oh man, we need more dance videos to be put in our channel, right? So maybe but for us that can work. We can be like, oh man, I'll start doing more top 10 dance videos. You can be like, I can start reacting to more videos. But another YouTuber can be like, oh man, my platform is politics serious. We don't bother yourself with dance. So meaning, just because you're part of this association, it doesn't mean you're forced to follow like what a member wants you to do. So you can be like you can be apolitical and still be part of the group, right? So that to encourage others. When it comes to helping you, we are like, we need to maybe ask Ethiopian Airlines to give us like a discount traveling using their airlines to promote Africa, right? All of us can, that's not political, right? That's just basic.
Exactly.
So when 100 YouTubers with 10 million subscribers write to Ethiopian Airlines, believe me, they'll definitely listen. they'll be like,
Correct.
yep,
Yeah.
that's good. That's
Exactly.
such a good market. That's so much advertising. Yeah.
Okay.
So that concept, like I think they would still
Exactly.
be very much needed in
Yeah.
a group like that. Yeah.
Yeah, as I said, this is the year of action. So this is what I will go ahead and do it, right? Because we are talking here, but I want to promise people that this is what we're going to do it. I've been having a conversation with some YouTubers already, and I still have, more to come with other YouTubers. And I have your contact, guys. I'm going to make the WhatsApp group, of these people that we have, so that we can start interacting with one another, talking these things through. And I know that all these different YouTubers, we can actually sit down and create something that can work for all of us, and we can actually bring about change to our beautiful continent, of Africa. Because all of us, we share one thing in common: we love Africa. So that is something that can be done as soon as I'm finishing this, and then we'll carry on from there. You know what I'm saying? Yes. All right. So Nati, that's a promise. All right. We'll give you guys feedback later on. Another question here, say, how can we get people with mindset like you both in power across the continent? You want to answer that?
So for me, I'd always go with like you talked about it when you mentioned the internet, right? Like we're using this internet to So I always call the internet the great equalizer, right? In history, it's happened so many times that like a group has this technology, right? Like let's say bronze, right? Metal. It 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 controls or tries to exploit other groups, but then when like everybody else knows how that technology works, like it equalizes, right? The conquerors are now being conquered, right? So the internet is the same way. They made the internet for themselves, right? But we are now using the same technology to learn about our true history, to educate ourselves, decolonize our minds, to unbrainwash all that false knowledge we've been taught with books, right? So to answer our question, how can we get more people to have this mindset, right? Is these days, like as I said, like you have no excuse to not know about yourself, about where you come from. The internet is free. The internet is open. You can educate yourself, right? So, like as I said, when you hear anything coming from the West or coming from somebody who does not look like you, just take it with a huge grain of salt and be like, hey, wait, you know what? I'll go in my personal time research about it. When they say, Africans didn't have a form of writing, you can just be like, okay, sure. Go back, read on it, have knowledge. Then next time they're like, hey, Africans didn't have a form of writing. You're like, well, excuse me, I know of actually 10, like more than 10 forms of writing that I can show you, right? That's how you get people to have this kind of mindset, to like educate yourself. Like in the same way, if you meet a racist today, right? Like you're somewhere in Europe, you're somewhere in America, you meet a racist, right? Yeah, like that means that is an actual racist, because these days you really have to work very hard to not know like anything about Africa, right? So if somebody's being a racist, is because they actually really want to be a racist. Like they know the truth about you, but they choose not like to hate you. They choose to exploit you. They choose to make themselves feel superior than you, right? Yeah. So the same way, if you want to have this mindset, question everything, double check for yourself, right? Yeah, and don't take anything given to you just like that. Like before, you're told David Livingstone, I don't know, discovered Mount what, Queen Victoria discovered what, you'll be like, no, no, like actual Africans, my forefathers were living there before that, So things like that. That's how you can change this mindset, like yourself. Yeah, learn for yourself, research everything for yourself. Like even if you listen on the news, this and this is happening in Ethiopia, this and this is happening. Just don't close your eyes and be like, yeah, that's actually happening in Ethiopia. Yeah, like you've got the internet. If you're dedicated like me, you can actually go there and see for yourselves. right? Yeah. So that's how this mindset, like, you can change from the people who currently like they're not so much Pan-Africanists, but they've got that interest, because most of our watchers, most of our people who comment, it's a spark, right? So the more you keep challenging and asking questions, the more you'd finally end up being even having your own YouTube channel, which for me is my goal, right? Yeah, like start questioning things, be like, hey, you know what? I really need to share this message that I've discovered to the world. Create a YouTube channel, start making videos, start educating other people. You'd like it's a system. You'd create a system, and before then there'll be like 100 million Africans, just content. Yeah.
Man, we are going to change this continent. I'm telling you, and it will start with us, us YouTubers and everybody there, because we are, we are talking to people direct, straight. We are, imagine your videos that has, more than 10 million viewers, and you have hundreds of millions of viewers in your channel. I was checking out. That is strong. That is powerful message. Like, you can reach to people just in a moment like that. More than. I mean, president can be addressing to the nation and nobody's watching. No one is listening. But you can see the impact of what we are doing. And I'm very excited already. Like, right now, I've been, messaging some YouTubers. I'm really excited because this is gonna be great. We have another question here. What do you think of creative thinking in Africa? Financial literacy, and how can YouTubers help to increase the awareness?
Yeah. So this is another thing that it's by design that our education system is lacking these things, right? So think about it. Why are you taught other useless things, and they don't teach you how to do taxes, right? Think about it. Like, when you finish high school, you're left with this so much useless knowledge, but the things that would help you become a responsible adult, are not taught to you. You learn the hard way. Like, what if we start teaching children maybe about filing taxes, about the stock exchange, about entrepreneurship, when they were starting from 5 years old and going? What kind of Africans will we have, rather than you going through useless education system? Then when you reach 18, that's when you start learning these things. When people like in China, people like in India have been learning these things since they were kids, right? Yeah. So this creative thinking, this concept of and this, your parents and my parents had it, that you go to school, you get good grades, you get a good job, you get this line that's made for us, right? That's such a colonial concept that was ingrained. Be a good subject to the queen. Get a job, get a good education, get a job, pay your taxes, right? But this new concept of creative thinking, where you can even start your business while in school, right? There's no reason why you can't be a 5-year-old entrepreneur. There's no reason why you can't be a 10-year-old entrepreneur, right? Like when you finish school, you've already made your your money, right? So we need to change this concept that has been ingrained to us, and it was ingrained to our parents by the grandparents, and it was ingrained by the colonizers to those grandparents, right? Yeah. So and that I'm a huge I'm a huge fan of critical thinking, and also there's also one called lateral thinking, right? Lateral thinking is more of a problem-solving kind of thinking, right? Where just by if you're in a situation, you just don't think, hey, how would I fix this? No. Think, how will I fix this? How can I make this problem into a solution? How can I use this solution to make money? Now that's lateral thinking, thinking not even outside the box, thinking outside the box, around the box, on top of the box, just inside, everywhere. Yeah. So that's how.
One of our friend here in One Africa he says, I don't think outside the box because I was not in the box from the first start.
Like exactly.
Not in the box at all. Like, shout out to Biggie. Shout out to Biggie.
Definitely.
Yeah, there's an amazing question here that I think is necessary to address. You say, how do we all enjoy this conversation together as Africans when the French-speaking Africans can't partake in these discussions? How do we reach more Africans who don't speak or understand English?
So for us, we've taken this very expensive and painstaking activity on our channel where we translate all our videos, and we've got like 1,700 videos to like English, French, Portuguese, Amharic, Zulu, Swahili, right? Like Chinese, Russian, and which other like we translate all our videos into all 10 languages. Like we put captions over there, and the reason for this is we realize Africa as a huge diaspora. The Africans in China, the Africans in Korea, the Africans in France, the Africans everywhere, and they didn't have the opportunity to learn English or come from a region that has English. How would they know what we are doing, right? So we use captions to solve this problem in the short term, but in the long term, we also want to open 2nacheki French version, 2nacheki Spanish version, 2nacheki Swahili version, right? Like where it's just our videos, but with a Swahili narrator, like a French narrator, because we realize we can't unite Africa if half of them can't understand what we are talking about, right? And before Swahili, the vision of Swahili becomes ready of all Africans speaking one language, we have to use these colonial languages or use other local languages to reach out. Like I can say, like Amharic has really impacted people in Ethiopia, because some of them really didn't know other Africans cared about them, right? Until you read your captions, right? Because not everybody in Ethiopia knows English, right? Yeah. But if they can read in their own language that there's this channel that's fighting for them, there's this channel that's setting the record straight for them, it's really helpful. So for us right now, short term, we use captions. Long term, we'd like to have to extend to actually making videos in all these other languages, French speaking, Swahili. Also I mentioned also Arabic. There's so many people who speak Arabic who also watch our channel.
That's amazing. That's amazing. It's something that I think we've started here in Swahili Nation, just because our content is different right now. We do live stream. So if we do live stream, and you have all these translators, you'll be doing like 10 hours. I see you doing 1 hour. So but currently we have been having for example, today in the afternoon we're talking about the situation in Mali. And in our family here, we actually, in the organization, we actually have someone who speaks like fluent French. So in that case, it can be like easy to speak and to translate, to make sure that, hey, you guys, if you're coming here and you want to share something in French, please don't feel like, I don't need to share this, but there can be someone who can help you, translate and to, pass that message across, somewhere. But I think in the long term, this is something that we need to consider, because if you're doing live stream and then you want to reach out to everybody out there, then there has to be some sort of translation for people to understand. But also in the long term, one thing that we're working on is to have, like, we want this channel to be live 24/7 to be live. And how that is going to happen, we're going to have a representative from everywhere, someone who speaks French, someone who speaks Arabic, someone who, all these, people who believe in the unity of Africa, people who love Africa and want to see a unity, peace, and love in Africa. And then we can have a different session. I don't have to be here all the time hosting this, no, but we can have another person who speak French, who can speak with people of Congo and Western Africa, another person who speaks Zulu. We already have our brother from South Africa right there. So this is in the long term, and hopefully this year, in 2022, the year of action, we'll be able to to do that, in this year, hopefully. Yeah. So I appreciate for the question. This is a good question right here. All right. There's another question. This is direct to you. Yenatan from Yenatan. Shout out to all the members in the house. I love you guys. It's say, for those who have not made it to Ethiopia yet during this time, how was the overall atmosphere and people's energy, and what areas did you visit?
Okay, so like Addis Ababa is live, active. Everybody is up and down because we went during the great return. So there are so many diasporas, like in the airport. We were meeting almost people from all regions. Some of my friends from work. So that means like everybody in Addis was happy to see us. We received a warm welcome, and we started from Addis. We went till the Oromia region and till the southern regions of Ethiopia in Hawassa, and throughout all we had a good time. No problem security-wise. Everybody welcomed us nicely. People were so intrigued with people from Kenya, people from Tanzania, people from South Sudan. So like in the tour, like in the tour bus where we were so diverse. There were so many Africans. Like I think we were from maybe 5 to 6 different African countries. So yeah, that was an amazing trip, and I would suggest people who are still interested in going to Ethiopia to do so. The return is not over, right? I know the president just called out to visit during Christmas, but like I believe Africans should start visiting other African countries to support, first of all, the tourism, to support the economy, to stop depending on Westerners like as tourists, and start visiting our own countries. So I suggest everybody, if you have the opportunity, if you've got the time, if you have the finances, take a trip to Ethiopia, see what the country is like. Let an Ethiopian tell you what's going on in Ethiopia. Don't let CNN, don't let BBC, don't let Reuters, don't let Al Jazeera tell you what's going on in Ethiopia. You can easily ask an Ethiopian what's going on, and they'll clearly tell you the current situation. Okay, so Swahili Nation, I think, seems to have gone down a bit, but let's carry on with the questions. Let's see. Let me see which other questions can I get. Like you're back. Like I was going through the questions. So Abu Yaku was asking, what about a universal sign language? Like I'm really not sure about sign languages for like Africa. Maybe that we can research if Africa has a unique form of sign language compared to the like the international one, because I believe other regions have different sign languages, right? Yeah. So maybe that you can we can follow up and see if we can also include like a sign language for Africans.
Yes, definitely. That's a good one. That's a good one. I'm trying to check here other questions that we have. Mr. 2nacheki, yep. On your side, do you have some questions there from your people as well? Because I don't want to leave them behind.
Okay. Let's see if let me see.
As you're finding, maybe I can ask this one question as well. Someone here say, on that note, what is the role of African diaspora in supporting and amplifying the voices of Africans on the continent while not becoming a hindrance to the real voices on the ground? That's a good question right there.
Yeah.
You want to go first, my brother?
Yeah. Let me see. I was just asking people they can ask questions. Okay. So let me do the question again. What is the role of African diaspora in supporting and amplifying the voices of Africans on the continent while not becoming a hindrance to the real voice on the ground? Okay. First of all, like I would suggest, if you're in the diaspora, you can follow a cause that's currently going on. Right. Just don't come and come up with a random cause that maybe people in that country are not really caring about. You know, you can like go to a place where something is not really relevant and expect them to care about what you care about. So, like if you want to help the diaspora, you want to help an African cause. First, learn about the cause that you want to support. Learn about the country that you want to support. Like get people from that country to enable you to network and in that way you can help either by advocating financially or even by you being there and actually going ahead and campaigning. So that's I think the best way to do it. Don't do it alone. Africa is like African people work together. African society is a community. So join a community that you think is relevant to your cause. Find a cause that aligns with your beliefs and your principles. Yeah, and join Africans to pursue that cause. So let me go back to see if people from 2nacheki are asking me questions. Let's see. Like you're back, okay? Yeah. So maybe you can also try and tackle this question.
This question, yes. What the role of the African diaspora in supporting and writing the voices of Africans on the continent? You know, I've been saying this a lot of time in this year, and one of my mission, to be honest, this year is to bring as many diasporas as I can back to Africa. For those who they run away, right? Because we have different kind of people. We have people who run away because they don't like Africa. They're like, you know what, there's a better life somewhere else. Run away. So for those, you know, my job is to tell them that, you know, Africa is beautiful. Africa is amazing. I've been outside as well. I kind of ran away, but I'm back. And so let's come back and build our continent. But I think on the other note, we have diasporas who have been maybe born in other countries and they have their business there. They have their families there. They can always contribute. We have seen, you know, Ethiopian and Eritrean diaspora, how much they have done for the country during, you know, this time with the, you know, No More movement. And you can see how much people they were giving, supporting, you know, donating and do all those stuff because of what has been happening. So I think for me, when I look at diaspora, I see investment, right? I see investment, people who can actually develop the continent with what they do have, right? We have seen a lot of examples of people, I mean, diasporas coming back home and investing in the country. I've seen a couple of videos that Wodemaya shared before on his channel of this one diaspora that he actually built some park in Ethiopia, and you can see like how you can go there and feel like, man, maybe I'm in South Korea or I'm in another country, you know, outside of Africa. But because all these people, they have exposure and they have different perspective. They have like three eyes, one eye of African, another eye of outside, another eye that is just different perspective, that the exposure eye, right? So I think in that case, you know, they have a big role to play in that way, in funding, in investing, bringing on some ideas, you know, bring on some ideas, because you understand how the world is working out there, right? You have been part of that. Some of us, we might know it, but through the news, through the media, through movies, that's how we fell in love with, you know, US and UK. But you guys are living there. You actually see the real life, right? And you see, you know, everything that is going on. So I think there's a big part of that, and we can play a part as a bridge, to bring these people back. But not only that, you don't have to be here in Africa to bring about change. Most of you guys are watching here from outside, but you're always here raising your voice and, for things that matters a lot to Africa. So I think in that way, there's a big role to play in that sense. And say Africans on the continent, while not becoming a hindrance to the real voices on the ground. This is another thing. I haven't seen anyone like Diaspora who is actually hindering the movements and everything that we are doing here on the continent, on the ground. The matter of fact, I've seen the opposite. I've seen a lot of diasporas actually bringing that eagerness for change in the continent, like bringing a new perspective that, guys, I can talk about myself, right? When I was living here, I thought I'm going there to pursue a better life, but I lived there for 9 years, and then coming back, I realized that, dang, man, home is home, and here is beautiful than any other place I would ever go, right? And so my job is to remind people that, guys, don't go out there to pursue a good life or to run away from your issues, because there are issues everywhere. So I have seen Diaspora bringing that awareness that, okay, you know what, we can work on our education system in the continent, and, our people, they can actually start here, expand their knowledge and bring about change in the continent, right? I've seen that. I've seen Diaspora changing the continent in so many ways. So I haven't seen the other way around, but that's what I've seen. And I think there's a huge potential, to have them back home. And as you said before, 2nacheki, to have these 5 different regions, including diasporas and people from Caribbean, Jamaica, and all that part, to include them and not neglecting them, that to feel like, oh, you guys, you're very westernized, you are this and that. No, they just have different perspectives about issues that are going on in Africa. And the best thing you can do is embracing them and realizing that these are our people. And we need to welcome them, because in this fight, we need them as much as we need people here in the continent.
Great.
That's what I would say. Did you get any question there that you want to raise?
No, but there's this question by Theo that's very interesting.
Yeah. What is it? Is it this?
Yeah, by
is
Theo.
It this one?
But yeah, that one. Yeah.
Oh, Theo. Okay. Do you think it's possible to mobilize 500 million Africans to participate in Umuganda on a month? Example, Rwanda. If not, what does that say about everything else?
Yeah, so like as of now, just for background, Umangala is where every month Rwandans across the country, they go outside and clean the environments. They prune, remove trash, make sure they live in like they beautify where they live. Everybody is included. The president, exactly. All the ministers, everybody. Like, it's not like the rich people don't do it, or it's only for the poor people. Everybody does it, right? So like for me, I always love this concept because it's such an African, like it's just such an African concept. Back like during our history, our African history, we didn't have like trash collectors, or we didn't have like people who dug trenches. It was all done with the community, right? Yeah, it was all a community. It was all a community based activity where people go like, "Hey guys, we had floods over here. We need a trench dug across the village to help us not get this problem next time." Everybody does it together, like not for payment, not to get a contract, right? Not to let's call it get favors. Everybody did it because they lived in that community, and that was their responsibility, right? Even when I talk about leadership and like being a leader for being a leader, not for democracy. So this is the concept of doing something for your community, not because you'll get anything beneficial. Yeah, like you're doing it for the community because you live in that community. So the question is like, how can we get 500 million Africans to mobilize? That right now is impossible because of artificial borders that have been created for us, right? for countries to coordinate in such a big in such a big way, we'd have to get rid of our borders. So this concept is, when we have Africa, like in the future, this should be a staple of our culture. We should not let this concept go away. And rather than 500 million Africans, I would suggest by then maybe we might be 2 billion Africans. Everybody in Africa, all 2 billion of us, every month, we go to where we live, we go to our community, we take care of our community, right? And this also goes to the concept of how Africans are the ones who are suffering the most from climate change, and are the ones who contribute like 2% of the climate change itself. Other countries are destroying the planet. We are suffering. So this concept of us taking care of our planet, right, is such an African concept, and this concept that Rwanda is doing would really work well with our united Africa. Yeah.
All right. I think you answered that very well. Brother 2nacheki, are you there?
Yeah. Well, we have. Can you hear me?
Right.
Yeah. Like
yes,
we have a question. So somebody's asking, what would be the role of the African Union? I'm assuming in the future, in a united Africa. Yeah. So so for me, like in a united Africa, the African Union would be maybe our United Nations, right? Because I would still advocate for Africa to leave the United Nations right now as it is, because we are not being respected. We are not being given Security Council seats. We are just pawns to a means to an end for other African countries, for other countries to do their business. So I would suggest, to make the African Union more relevant, is that only African Union should be the only organizations that Africans are part of to determine our future. So yeah. So with that, I've always advocated for African countries to lead the UN. Africa has 54 countries. It will be a quarter of the United Nations or more. So yeah. So with that, the role of the African Union in a united Africa will only get greater. Will only become bigger.
Yeah, the first thing that African Union, I think they have to do is they should start talking.
Yep.
Because, a lot of people, they just care when you talk about things. But if you don't talk and you don't do anything, then why are you there? Right? You should start talking about issues that are going on in Africa. Something happened in Ethiopia, talk about it, your African Union. Something is happening in Mali right now, talk about it, your African Union. Something is happening in Sudan, Congo, Mozambique, Madagascar, talk. Because you're that should be the first step, for African Union in all this stuff, because there's a need of dialogue. The reason why I had to start with this, One Africa, and the tagline is a conversation for a better Africa, for a better tomorrow, is that because there's a need of conversation. Every time when I sit with my friends, right, we'll always talk about politics. We'll always talk about all these issues that are going on in Africa, and we'll just talk, and then we'll be tired, we'll go to sleep, right? Why don't we, people that want to talk about this issue, people that want to know, they want to have a better Africa for their kids and for the future generation, that should be the first point to address, to let people know that we're here, we're seeing what is happening, we care, and we're working on it. I think what we are facing right now, a lot of people, they don't have trust, in African Union. But as you say, 2nacheki, I think this has to be our UN. We should not even cry for the seat in UNSC, because they will never put us there. Right, we all know that. Or if they'll put us there, then we'll not have a say. They'll always have a way to undermine, Africa. But we should have. There's no need for us to go there. We should have our own strong community that we can actually address things when it comes to climate change. I saw the comment about initiative that Ethiopia took to plant 1 million trees. We had the same initiative here in Tanzania, back in the days, and so many African countries. We can address about these issues. We can deal with these issues when it comes to interference from the West. Africa, you can address that. and I say, no, this should not happen. When it comes to loans and aids, every year Africa is losing from 50 to 100 billion US dollars. Is losing Africa every single year, and the loan that we're receiving is a little lesser than that. And this statistics by UN, but there's a lot of numbers are not there. Like we are not even aware of them, but we are losing every single year. These are supposed to be things that African Union are dealing with to actually transform this continent. So I think, yeah, there's a big need to there's a huge need to to transform what we have right now, to transform and to make sure that it's actually working for the people of Africa, and working towards unity. Because otherwise it'll be just talking as Lumumba says, and nothing is happening. Talk like since 19 something about a united Africa, but always is paperwork, and nothing is happening. Yeah, it's quite sad. It's quite sad.
Tracy is asking why Israel is part of the African Union. For you don't know, Israel was put as an observer. It was given an observer status in the African Union, but this was done behind closed doors, and a lot of African countries are campaigning against it, and I think it will be overturned in the next extraordinary meeting of the African Union. So the reason it was put there, I think, just politics and money, just that. Yeah.
All right. Well, I don't see any other question right here. Oh no, I think I have this question. I saw it here. It's a 2nacheki. This is to you, 2nacheki. 2nacheki, you had a video on P. Kagame sending troops to fight jihadists, but were the rebels really jihadists or simply local folks defending their resources? Shouldn't we be aware of religious division?
For me, I think they were neither. They were not jihadists, and they were not local folks defending their resources. For me, I would think they were foreign mercenaries sent there by a foreign power to cause problems, so that the actual people who are there for their resources will not get any. So this is how it works. A country they discover something, gold, diamonds, oil. Then suddenly there's jihad, like an uprising, or like Mozambique has, through Mozambique's history, I don't think it's even had jihadists. All of a sudden they find natural gas more than any other region in the world. They've got jihadists. So they're using the Iraq template. Create a problem, send your troops there to that problem. There's actually no problem. Your troops are used to take money. They're doing that to DR Congo right now. They are really taking so much resources from DR Congo. So for your question, that's actually what's happening. They're not jihadists. They're not local folks. They're paid mercenaries, because they're sent there to send trouble. And Kagame knows well who those people are causing trouble in Mozambique.
All right, we have really good question right here. I want to appreciate Theo as well for the super chat. Appreciate, my brother. Thank you for your constant and unwavering support. This is a very interesting question. He said, I want to extend it. He says, should Ethiopia invest in Egypt to strengthen its influence? Let me say a little bit about this. There's as you know, there's a huge tension between these two great nations right here. We need all of these two nations in the table. The peace between these two countries is the peace for Africa. And also, the issue that we have between northern part of Africa and sub-Saharan countries of Africa. There's a huge, honestly speaking, a huge division between these two different parts. So in this question, adding to that, how can we bring about unity between sub-Saharan countries and northern part of Africa? I really want to hear your genuine opinion on that, because they are Africans and we need them on the table. Yeah. We have a lot of things that we can share with one another to develop Africa, and Africa to be the greatest continent, the greatest one Africa we have ever seen. Because we used to be back in the days, the Egyptian, kingdom back in the days, right? So What would you say to that question?
So for me, I've been asked so many times when it comes to this issue of North Africans and claiming, I don't know, they're not Africans or they're not part of Africa. So for me, I always have retort to people who claim from North Africa who claim that they're not Africans, or people from other parts of Africa who claim North Africans are not Africans, right? I always ask them these questions, right? How much money do you think Egypt makes from the rest of Africa to export its goods? Like, the economy of Egypt is so intertwined with the rest of Africa that it will be insane for Egypt to when I say Egypt, I mean the leadership, to claim they're not Africans. You know about COMESA, right? COMESA,
Yes.
it's like the annual version of the African Continental Free Trade, right? Like here in Kenya, we eat fruits, like we eat our oranges from Egypt, right? Egypt benefits so much from Tanzania and Kenya. It will be insane, right? Like, I'm sure every time maybe somebody mentions I don't know, from Egypt, like, oh, we're not Africans. We need, like, I'm sure the leadership, the presidents, they cringe. They're like, ooh, you're spoiling it for us. They're really benefiting from Africa, and with this, right? Like, see, divisions are very easy to propagate, especially when you've got external influences like Europe, right? Because even right now, the current problem between Egypt and Ethiopia is linked so much with the United States, right? So like, Egypt is scared about the Grand Renaissance Dam, right? They go cry to America that, hey, tell Ethiopia to leave the Nile alone, right? The Nile problem was caused by Britain, right? Yeah. So you see, these are problems not caused by Africans, and then we're pushing another non-African country to solve it. The Americans do what they do to try to topple the Ethiopian government, right? So see, problems like between Egypt and Ethiopia are not problems between Egypt and Ethiopia. Egypt and Ethiopia have no issues at all, right? It's just other countries interfering with the politics of countries, forcing them to do what they're doing. Like, Britain convinced Egypt the Nile belongs to them, right? Like it never did, right?
There's all
Ethiopia, like the Nile belongs to Uganda as much as it belongs to Egypt, because it starts in Uganda, right? If you have a line, it starts here and then ends here. How can you say this? The end is the owner of the whole line, right? It's equally where it starts and equally where it ends, right? But Britain convinced Egypt that this is yours. Take full. The other people below you are subhumans, like that kind of concept. It's stuck in them, and they'll have to unlearn that. So with that, the economic relationship between countries like Egypt, Ethiopia, Kenya are the ones that will bring them together, right? Because at the end of the day, when everybody is happy, like when everybody has enough to eat, when everybody has nothing to fight about, there'll be less conflicts, right? And Egyptians wouldn't care if they're Martian, or Ethiopian wouldn't care that this Egyptian is if there's no contention to fight about, this divide wouldn't be there. So the best solution is remove these things that they're fighting about, right? Remove these problems caused by other people, and you'd fix the problem.
Yeah. All right. I appreciate for that. And just mind you that there's a lot of countries that are involved in Nile River. There's Egypt, Sudan, South Sudan, Ethiopia, Uganda, Congo, Kenya, Tanzania, Rwanda, Burundi. Those are countries that are there.
Yeah, definitely. And they all deserve an equal share of the Nile. So like Britain can take their laws and where they can put them.
Like this, the Nile River, it should be a reason for us to be united. Because look at how many countries are involved there. Like even God, the way he designed all these water channels and everything, he gave us things that we share in common, everybody. But it's crazy that things that are meant to unite us are dividing us. Look at religion, look at languages, look at water. That's what divides us. And all when you look deep inside, it's because of power and because of someone up there who is saying that, oh, this is you, you deserve more, they deserve less. We cannot deal with this crap all the time. I cannot. It has to be the time for us to say, no to that, no to that, and we share a lot in common. Let's be one. Yes.
Like there's a time you mentioned that like how they distort the African map to be smaller, right?
Yeah.
So like next question, how does the Nile flow from which country to which country?
Yeah.
From
Actually,
from Uganda, from Uganda to Egypt.
Down, it's going up there.
Technically, the world of the map of the world should be the other way around, right?
Yes, exactly.
That's the right way, because how many rivers have ever seen flow up a hill, right?
No.
As in they distort so much about where we live, our home, even where we how we draw where we live. It's been distorted and being falsified and being used as propaganda, right? Making Africa smaller, putting it lower, right? Africa is at the top of the world.
Yes.
Right?
It is.
Africa is at the top. They switched it, made it smaller, less significant, so we feel that way.
Yeah. And that's why we've been saying ever since we were a little kid, and we believe it. Right now, a lot of us, we don't know that Africa is actually bigger than the way it looks like. Somebody here, someone here is asking, what resources can we use to learn Swahili? For this one, I'm not going to answer right now, Pi. I'm preparing an amazing conversation with Imani, actually, someone who is an amazing advocate of Swahili and the continent. I'm preparing a session. This guy, he will come here and share everything you have to know and why Swahili should be an African spoken language in the whole continent. I've been talking with him behind the scene, and we're just finding the right time for him to come. We're supposed to have that session actually this week, but maybe we'll have in the weeks to come, because it's at night, and 9 p.m. it's kind of like too late for him, but we'll figure out something. Okay, let me see here. There's a lot. I appreciate for everybody who is commenting here. There's so many comments that I might not be able to go through all of them, but I appreciate the conversation that is going on down there, both here and in 2nacheki. We love you guys for the all support that you guys are showing.
Yeah, and also to remind our 2nacheki followers, please make sure to subscribe to Swahili Nation. Like he's got great content, and he's producing the content. Like there's so much content. So believe me, you'll miss new content to watch, right? Yeah. So you just check out like his streams. Like I enjoyed your stream for like Wongel. Like we were there with. Like in Ethiopia, and it was a great experience. So just keep on coming. Like I can't wait for the Imani one. So just keep them coming.
On the same note, let me remind Swahili Nation family as well, guys. 2nacheki, we are one Africa. So go there, support the channel. If you haven't subscribed, do so. If you've already done, that's beautiful. That's amazing. And do that. We have to become one. I would love to see the conversation of 2nacheki and Swahili Nation people from there. I would love to see those conversations going on, and we're mingling. Actually, in that note, this is another thing that I can do. Another thing that I can do. First, creating that WhatsApp group, bringing all of us together, and we can share ideas and talk and discuss and have all this meeting. But another thing, I can prepare the live stream, just like what we're having here with you, with all the YouTubers, and whereby, I know this one is being streamed live in 2nacheki, and other YouTubers as well, they can stream in their channels, and we can have something, like this to talk and to just have a moment to chat with one another and receive some questions from our people, allowing like people from Swahili Nation to ask questions. So people of 2nacheki, or Wodemaya, or Make Africa Great Again, and all these Wangle and another great YouTubers that we have out there. I can have that moment. I think that would be amazing. That would be amazing. We can have online conversation like that with our people from all over the continent, but also we can have face to face one day. When we get that chance, that's something that it can be done. And I know a lot of people, they might be open to that. And I know 2nacheki already open to that, right?
Yeah, definitely.
You're my real brother. So there's another question here. It's okay, the only you can answer this. 2nacheki. He says, so Egypt decided to sign some agreements with Britain about the ownership of Nile River. That's what he's asking, is that question. Yeah.
Okay. Right. Is it like asking, or is it a clarification?
Oh, it's a question actually. The only his.
Yeah. So if I can.
Ago.
Yeah. So if I can recall my history, when I think in 1952, so that Britain would use the Nile for itself and exploit. It came up with this idea that to make Egypt control 80%, I think it's 80% of the Nile, because they're currently controlling Egypt. So Egypt signed it, but it's just the British people who signed it. So when Egypt gained independent, they were like, hey, we'll just keep this, this advantage that these guys had. So that's what happened. It's even it's the British who used the Nile, who exploited the Nile, and forced other African countries not to have it. Yeah. So technically, a person who's not African came to Africa, made some rules, and left. And we are actually fighting about those rules till now. Yeah.
All right, I appreciate my brother. So my brother, I think we had very long conversation here, 2 hours plus. Well, I want to give you a chance to say anything you want to say. As a final note, anything that you want to say, go ahead.
Yeah. So for me, my whole reason for doing 2nacheki is that we have to tell our own stories as an Africans to our fellow Africans, right? I usually don't care about how the West perceives us, right? I usually don't want approval from the West. It really doesn't matter. Like even for the East, it really doesn't matter. The whole concept for doing 2nacheki is to share our African experience to Africans, to tell Africans about Africans from an African perspective, to share the good news, sometimes bad news, sometimes hilarious news, sometimes entertaining news, sometimes amazing news. Just to be alive, to show Africa is alive. It has good things, it has amazing things, it has bad things, it has surprising things. It has just it's like we're people. We are here to tell our stories, and I would also encourage, like I always say, Swahili Nation mentioned that we are almost reaching 1 million subscribers. We are close. I think we're like 40,000 away, right? And although having 1 million subscribers is cool, and it's a big achievement, right? I've always advocated for having 1 million Pan-African YouTube creators, right? You know what I mean? Pan-African YouTube creators. I don't mean you only have to do politics. You don't have to do news. You can do like dance videos. You can do like skits. You can do comedy. You can do pop culture, like just anything that promotes Africa, or any concept that enables you to tell your African story, like from an African perspective, right? You can do videos about being a writer. You can do videos about being an actor. You can somebody asked about financial literacy. You can create videos to teach people about financial literacy, the stock exchange, entrepreneurship, right? Yeah. So as long as you're creating African content for African people, you'll do right towards us. And 1 million is coming soon, but I'm waiting for the day where we have got 1 million African creators on YouTube, Pan-Africanist creators on YouTube. So all of you watching this stream, there's nothing stopping you from doing what Swahili Nation and they are doing. There's actually nothing. Everybody's commenting because they've got a smartphone or they've got a computer. Your computer has a webcam, your smartphone has a camera. Everybody here has internet, right? So there's nothing, there's technically nothing stopping you from doing exactly what you're doing, right? And who knows, maybe it's next time we'll be celebrating your 1 million subscriber. So I would encourage everybody, start creating your content, start a story. Yeah, so that's my final message to everybody watching from Swahili Nation and to 2nacheki.
Yeah, so on that side, can you give us maybe 3 tips of someone maybe has never done something like this? 3 tips you can give them to start a YouTube channel. What thing should be considered, like 3 things that someone should know before starting a YouTube channel?
Okay. First is the first and the most important one is start creating. Don't go like, hey, next week I'm going to be paid. I'm going to buy that camera, that fancy 4K camera, or I'm going to buy lights, or I'm going to buy like it's called what? Like I'm going to get studio time. No. Like you see this. This is all that you need, right? Start creating with what you have. Don't create excuses. Don't be like, oh, man, like I'll have to write a complicated script. No, just create a video, talk. Like talk to people. Start doing streams. Like you know, everybody knows how to have a conversation. Start doing streams with people that you have interest with. You know. So that's the first step. Just start. Don't wait for amazing anything, right? Start, right?
Yeah.
The other second one is be consistent, right? Don't give up because your first stream got 1 view and that was your mother.
We all know that. We all have been through that. You get 1 view and that view is for yourself.
Don't be discouraged. Be consistent, even if like for me, like one thing I've always done. If I do a video, it has 1,000 views. I do a video, it has 1 million views. I always look at them the same way. I don't respect. I like another video more than I like another video. All my videos are the same to me, right? Like I've got some with 10 million views. I've got some with 3,000 views. And I don't go like, oh man, I'm embarrassed about these other ones. No. Every video matters. So be consistent. Like, and when I mean consistent, I don't mean you start making videos daily, right? Making videos takes time. Just like, even if I'm going to be doing once a month, be doing once a month. I'm going to be doing once a week, be doing once a week. I'm going to be doing daily, be doing daily. Okay, just make sure it's consistent. YouTube really loves that, and it will reward you, right? Yeah. So for the third is don't be afraid to try new things, right? Don't be like, hey, because I'm a reaction channel, I'm going to do reactions till the end of time, right? So Nation can tell you this, right? Be ready to evolve, be ready to change. Like you see this new genre coming up. People are into this new dance. Like talk about it. People are talking about this serious political matter. Talk about it. Like don't box yourself. Don't put yourself in a box and be like, hey, I'm going to be this YouTuber and no. Like as I said, the voice of the people is the voice of God. If you start making content about what people want, people will start watching you, right? Don't make content about things that you think people will want. Make content about what people tell you in the comments. Hey, did you hear about what's going on in Ethiopia? What are your thoughts? Yeah, start making videos about Ethiopia. Start doing a history explainer about how Ethiopia got to the point where it got. Start explaining what these acronyms are, like TPLF, OLA. There's so much things people want to know about what's going on in Ethiopia, right? That if you just make a simple explainer video, I guarantee you it will get so many views, right? So yeah. So those are the three quick tips for for doing this YouTube thing. Start, be consistent, and experiment, right? Yeah.
You definitely, you know, stole consistency from me. I want to add three more things, but those are powerful. And I think every YouTuber you see out there, you know, they went through that in different ways, and they are where they are today. For me, I want to add about be authentic, all right, with your content, what you say, what you do, because usually people are attracted towards that. And as well, be yourself. It's very important to be yourself, because we are all created uniquely and different, and that's what makes this combination beautiful. That's what makes you, because you're different, right? The reason why 2nacheki is very successful in what he does, because it's him. Like it's him, right? He has this desire, he has this vision, he has this experience that he went through, and it was like, you know what, I want to tackle this, I want to talk about this, and he has been doing that ever since, and he is where he is right now. You can look at what he does, you can see how he has been evolving, and so many other people out there. So it's very important, because this world, it needs you. It don't need two Mikas or two 2nachekis. No, it needs you. And if you're not out there on the YouTube business, that means we don't have you yet. And so there's some people, they're really good, they have good eyes to see what is missing. They're like, he was supposed to do this, he was supposed to do this. You have those comments all the time, right? Maybe you were supposed to do that. Maybe that is your job. You know what I'm saying? Your job is to see what is missing and to go to try to, you know, to fix that. Some of them, for example, I believe you have these people. Everybody has these people who they always see something like that, and they found themselves somewhere in the movement or in the channel that, oh, I want to contribute in this area, I want to do this and that and that. That as well, it can be one way of being yourself, and, you know, join the this an amazing and incredible journey that we are on to, right? And another thing, I listed like 10 of them. You know, I would say target as well. You know, you have your own target. You have a target, you have an idea that, okay, these you know, a couple audience that I want to reach out to. And, you know, so once you have your target, then you know how you're supposed to address that, you know, what you should say. It all depends on the target and the people that you want to reach out to. And I think one of the strategies that sometimes I do, and it happens, like I see the problem and I'm going to address that issue. Like I'm making a video about this issue that is happening, right? But sometimes, you know, we got to be honest that we make videos, we don't see issue, but we just make videos, you know, of all these ideas that we have because we want to see something happening, right? Not because we've seen anything, but it's just because, you know, we have this, there's this voice inside of you that, oh, I think, you know, this should be, you know, this should be a topic, or this should be something that you can talk about. So you can do however you want to do in that way. And I'm telling you, you'll be successful. Until today, by the way, 2nacheki, I'm still using my phone. I still don't have camera. Yes, I'm still using my phone. I still don't have camera. Right now, I'm using, you know, my notebook camera here. So, you know, that's how I've been doing for all this, you know, for the past 2 years, with this particular channel. All right. So I appreciate 2nacheki. Thank you so much for allowing me and allowing us to have this conversation with you. It means a lot. You are such a humble person, and I just want to appreciate you for all you do for the continent, for our people. And I think this is just one way to collaborate. I'm gonna definitely visit Kenya, and when I come there, you know, I'm gonna meet you. You're my brother, and we're gonna have, you know, more conversation to come. So I want to appreciate you for all you do and for this conversation of today. Thank you so much, my brother.
Thank you for having me. I really enjoyed the conversation.
Yeah, appreciate it. So before I let you leave, you know, we always hear, I don't know if you're open to that. We always pray, you know, at the beginning and at the end. It's kind of like it's kind of like our taboo that we have we have initiated here in, you know, Swahili Nation and One Africa. We acknowledge the difference of religions out there, and that's, you know, And we know that this is one of the reasons why, why our community and our people are divided sometimes because of that. But we are always addressing that this it should be the reason for us to be united. We should be able to talk about things we believe in. We should be able to discuss. We should be able, Muslims should be able to pray for me, and I, as a Christian, should be able to pray for them. We should be able to cooperate in any way possible, to bring our people together and all these different sides together. Because at the end of the day, man, we need God in this fight that we are going through. So if you will allow me, I'll just go to pray to not really closing this session, but postponing this session. Because if I close right now, later on, I'm going to have hard time to open. So we're not closing this.
Okay, good. Sure.
All right. If you're okay with that, I'll just go ahead and and thank God. God, I thank you for the conversation that I had today with 2nacheki and all Africans inside the continent and outside the continent. We know that this is the one step towards the change, the people you created us to be, you designed us to be, and everything that you blessed us with. We just pray that everything that we talked about, this will just be the beginning, and you continue to speak to us, give us wisdom, and the content that we produce, and the audience and people that will reach us to. We pray that, God, they will be impacted, and influenced in a way that it will bring all of us together, to stand together for our people, and to stand together with our people and for our people. So I thank you so much for what 2nacheki is doing. I continue to be with them. I thank you for what we are doing, and all our brothers and sisters around the continent. Keep us safe, give us peace, unity, and loving one another. That's what we are asking from you. Help us in this movement, in this call, in this fight, to keep our heads straight and not to be distracted by anything out there that's going on. Keep our brothers and sisters safe, those who are struggling with, COVID-19, with different crises. We pray for them and remember them. I pray all these things in your name. Amen.
Amen.
All right. 2nacheki, I appreciate my brother. I love you. I'm going to have a lot of calls with you outside of this. Allow me to disturb you, but I appreciate for all that you're doing, and thank you so much for 2nacheki family and Swahili Nation family. Let's keep this unit going on.
Thank you for watching, and make sure to subscribe to Swahili Nation. Okay.
I appreciate my brother. Thank you so much. I'll let you go for now. Appreciate. All right. Well, guys, thank you so much for joining today. Again, I want to appreciate for all the love and support that you guys have been showing, because honestly, we cannot be here without your support, and we cannot be here without, without you being there. If we're here and doing this live stream and there's nobody watching there, then what are we doing? But I want to appreciate you guys for supporting us, and for supporting what we are doing. We still need your support in so many ways. So however you can support, if you want to join and become a member of these channels, please do that. It can help and support what we are doing. If you can use super chat, super sticker, it can help what we are doing. And if you can comment and share these pages, subscribe, turn on notification button, it can help what we are doing. Always be involved, right? It's a year of action. We need to step out and to start act on our words. So I want to appreciate for those who are doing so. You guys mean a lot. I love you, everybody. Thank you for 2nacheki family and Swahili Nation family. Until next time, guys, I'll see you. God bless you. And I love Africa. I hope you do too. Appreciate, guys.